tackling climate is going to take us understanding and respecting multiple types of knowledge. And right now we only respect one type of knowledge. Traditional scientific knowledge that's supported by empirical data. And that has a place, but the fact is we have to recognize that data doesn't actually show you the whole picture. Data represents what we have decided to collect data on. Right? Data measures what we have decided to measure, which means that there are a world of things out there that can be real, right? And that are real and that should shape policy that we ignore because it doesn't have data, right? The number of things that people will tell me, especially when I was an analyst, oh, we need to figure out this, let's just get data on it. And I'd be like, you'd be surprised. A lot of data that you think exists doesn't exist. And people who are in the analyst ghetto don't understand because it's not their job to go find that data. They're like, sweet little baby, you just go keep looking. And you're like, no, I'm like literally not kidding. And they're like, yeah, it should be there because a lot of things sound like things we should measure. Right. And we're talking about when I was at the Institute for Women's Policy Research, working on, higher education and stuff, an issue, it can be as simple as like an issue that we ran into a lot was that data wouldn't be disaggregated by gender and race. Right. And that is, we have the data set, but I couldn't tell you what happened to Asian Americans. Right. Much less an Asian American woman. They just didn't slice it like that. So you couldn't do anything. But does that mean that Asian American women don't exist?
Yeah.
Which is the conclusion that some people, and I feel like particularly in climate, I think because there's been so much nefarious action on the part of fossil fuel and oil, really driving, here's when the sick brain comes, really driving, doubt about scientific conclusions that I think what happened was people were like, we have to armor up even more. So now people don't want to say anything that you can't follow with 5 models, which means that the experience of a lot of frontline communities is lost, right? Or indigenous communities who are saying like, we have a different relationship with the earth. Look at what happens when you consider things other than family and church sacred, right? Which is the way that what about when you consider the earth sacred? What about when you consider all of these things sort of change? So I think that's one thing, and that's where education comes in. The earlier you start teaching people about the fact that there are multiple types of knowledge, that they all should be respected, that there are different ways of understanding the world, the more likely people are going to be open.